Yeah, agreed. That, and one side of it is connecting with them on a human level, and the second side, like you said, is having a comprehensive solution that does actually serve them well. It's your fiduciary responsibility as a leader to make sure that your product is serving your customers well and your team well, and having a comprehensive solution that's thorough and offers value, because dollar for dollar, if you offer great value, dollar for dollar, it's actually the cheapest option.
For sure.
Right? Dollar for dollar. And that's why we want to sell on value and offer people an exceptional service, because the last thing people want is, hey, did you know that everything you own is in your home, and the only thing standing between the elements and all of those assets that you own is what? It's the roof. It's probably not the place to bargain shop. Right.
And that's one of my favorite lines to just reiterate to folks is, somebody can do it for cheaper for sure, but what are they giving up? What are you giving up to get the lower price? And so, one of the things that makes us different is we offer for every roof that we present, we offer our customer base 4 options. So they get 4 proposals for every roof. And we have, our premium offering, then we peel off a few products and they save some money. So now they're in charge of their budget, right?
Yeah.
And there's several $1,000s between the low end and the premium, right? So if price is the main concern, then okay, well, we can get you to a price where you're actually in the same ballpark as the other guys,
right?
But this is what you give up, and of course, I train my guys to present the best option first, and then peel things back to get to a lower cost rather than price dropping, because we're not in a race for the bottom. And many of our competitors are doing just that because we're in somewhat of a contracted market 2025 and 26. It's the first time, 2025 is the first time in 100 years there has not been a named storm in the Gulf of America.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big
100 years, right? And so everybody is thinking, oh, this is the worst year we've ever had. Well, I think we're kind of in a reset. And I think it's going to give those of us that are wanting to be in that premium contractor space, it's giving us an opportunity to really shine. And those guys that are racing to the bottom, they're not going to have the money in their business to withstand not having a storm. And so we're not going to have to worry about them anyway. And I'm not wishing anything bad on them, but they have to learn how to do business. And, that means charging a price that supports the business, so the business will be here to serve the customer long term.
Yeah, 100%, which kind of segues perfectly into the next question, which is, what's it like to work with your company? Talk to us about the customer experience, the customer journey. Talk to us for, you never know who's listening in. Want everyone to hear how great SETX is and what your experience is like.
So the experience starts immediately when you call our company. The phone is answered every single time. I use technology to do that, right? I use an AI scheduling agent, but you're not leaving a message and waiting for somebody to get back from lunch or get back to work or, get off of their Facebook, doom scrolling to call you back. You have the opportunity right then to set the appointment. If you send us a Facebook message, we use technology. We use an AI bot that will have a very conversational text with you and set the appointment right now.
That's convenience is key.
So speed to lead is taken care of, right? Not everybody likes that, but it's effective. You know, it's very effective. I don't have to pay somebody. You know, if we got 5 calls coming in at the same time, my AI agent is going to answer all 5 of them.
Man, everyone's going to be served well instead of having to wait.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. Then as soon as you set the appointment, you get an email and a text message as an appointment reminder. That email and that text message come from the assigned sales rep. Okay. Systematically, right? And then the day of the appointment, that morning, you get another text message. Sometime after that first one, the sales rep is going to reach out to you personally and try to connect with you to make sure that they've got all the details right, so that they're prepared to serve you. We call it a kickoff call.
Okay. I like that.
So now you've got an email, a text message, and a phone call. And then once we show up, we're going to walk around. We're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to talk to you, confirm again. You know, this is where your pain points are. We're going to look in your attic. Most people are not prepared for that because none of the other guys are doing it.
That's so needed.
You know, and so we're going to look in the attic. We're going to walk around until we're going to take pictures all the way around the property, do a 360 view. Some of that is to protect us, and some of that is to give you a full awareness of the condition of your property. After we've done that, and we've looked in the attic, we're going to go back out to the truck. We're going to get on our tablet or our laptop. We're going to put the bid together, and you're going to have that in about 5 or 10 minutes, and you're going to have 4 options for that roof.
That's fast.
So, and then after they've presented it to you in person, that's kind of our rule, right? We're not just going to email you a bunch of proposals. We're going to present our price in person. So that there's a roof is way more than shingles and nails, right?
Oh, sure.
It's not a commodity. The components are, but the roof is not a commodity. So, you know, and we're able to answer questions. And if somebody else besides you is the decision maker, we ask that they can be there too. And if they're not, then let's make another appointment to present again, right? When both decision makers can be there.
Absolutely. More respect everyone's time and different perspectives.
Yeah. And, you know, there's no way I know what we sell. And I sometimes get tripped up on my words as I'm presenting it. Right. So for you to be able to articulate to someone else everything that I just told you is impossible. You know, you're an expert marketer, Brandon.
Appreciate that.
I can't talk to anybody. I can't articulate to even my guys. Yeah, man, our marketing guy said, blah, blah, blah. And if they ask me a question, I'm out. Right? I don't know. It's a great question. So it's the same thing in the home improvement space when we're presenting those solutions, and we want to present to everybody that's going to be involved in making the decision. And so from there, then we email them the proposal, and hopefully we've presented enough value that they're ready to sign right then. But if they're not, we're going to follow up with them the next day, and there's going to be some automation that sends out the follow-up so that my guys are not chained to their desk. They're able to do other things. So we employ a lot of automation, not to the point that it's soulless, but you can send a text message or an email back, and then the assigned rep is going to reach out to you directly, right? If you have questions. So those are some of the things. That's kind of what it's like, and then I think that's probably longer than what you asked for.
No, that's great. That's great. And you have that IT background, so I feel like that can play into how you're running your business. and give your customers more convenience because of your IT background. Be able to maybe think about things a little bit differently than some other companies may think, and that offers convenience to homeowners, right? And that's important for homeowners. I read a report of what the next 3 years might look like in the roofing space, and one of the big things was convenience. Homeowners and consumers are just there's so much technology out there, and they're gonna expect it. I even heard from you may have heard of Chuck Thoke. He's a trainer, Top Rep Training. I highly recommend him to anybody. He's really great.
Yes.
He was telling me about, wow, the buying behaviors are starting to change from homeowners, as in there's going to be, not every case, but some cases, homeowners are going to say, okay, I got to think about it. And one of those things that they're going to want to try to do is do what? Go on ChatGPT and say, is this a good deal? Oh, dang. So you're being proactive about that. This is Chuck's teaching, so shout out to him. Is like he'll actually come in with a prompt that's non-biased, completely like, hey, here's a prompt, you can read it. I recommend you take our information and any other information that you've got, and you put it through this non-biased prompt. And they read it like, oh yeah, this is totally like not trying to make you look good. It's very honest, transparent. And what Chuck teaches, of course, just make sure you already know what the prompt is in advance. So go in there with honesty, clarity, transparency, and great value at a fair price, and you will come out on top as the best option. And so that's going to become a new thing to start thinking about. So homeowners, the buying behaviors are changing. And so it's so great to see that you're integrating technology into your experience.
Yeah, and I love that prompt idea, and it's going to be a practice in our company from going forward. And anytime we can get our customers to send us a competitor's bid so that we can compare them, we will start doing that effective immediately.
Highly recommend it for.
Yeah, because I use chat, a ton, and I give it prompts, to remove all bias and go and check out the top companies in our area, right? And and because I want to see where I fall in a non-biased perspective.
Absolutely, and that's going to become normal. We're all just people, right? People. You look at ChatGPT, I look at ChatGPT. We use our tools at our fingertips. It's funny, when smartphones weren't even a thing. Now they've been a thing for a long time. It's crazy to even think that was a time. And now same thing with AI, right? It wasn't a thing. Now it is a thing. And it's going to become part of what? Our normal workflows of our life and our process of how we do things. And so the sooner that we start thinking about and adapting to that. So, for Christian contractors listening right now, that if you haven't already started making a strategy of how you're going to help homeowners with that process, assist them, because they don't even know what to type in as a prompt. They're not sure. They don't really know. So if you can assist them, say, hey, can I give you a hand? I think I already know have you used ChatGPT before? Oh yeah, if I do, I use it for everything. Got it. So let me help you out. Let me give you some recommendations. Honesty, clarity, transparency, Holy Spirit, very genuine, that 100% genuine, that it is truly unbiased, and then help them out with that prompt. And then they don't need to now go back to the, and go and think about it, which kind of leads me into something else. I actually told Chuck about this. I've heard of a software where it'll actually look up the pricing of like 100 or thousands of roofers in your area and find what those prices are. So someone would say like, I'm going to get 3 more bids. It's just my process. I'm like, okay, let me do you one better. How about I give you 1,000 bids all at once? So that way I could save you the time and get you more than 3 more. What if I get you 100 more? So that way you can make the best, most informed decision. So that was a software that existed. It's actually called HomeWise. You may have heard of it, used it. But now I think the evolution of that, because that existed a while ago before AI, I think the evolution is now going to be AI doing that research for them. Because now what's the purpose of getting the other bids? What exactly are you hoping to hear from the other contractors that you haven't already heard from me? And then it's so yeah, man, it's interesting times to adapt to how AI is going to change buying behaviors.
And that's one reason why we give 4 bids every time, because they say we want to get more estimates.
Yep.
Well, we've given you 4.
Yeah.
You said you only wanted 3.
Yes, exactly.
And,
right.
and that sometimes we'll disarm them and go, you're right. And a lot of times they're like, yeah, but I want them from different contractors, whatever. And so.
Right. But hey, a percentage will be like, oh, you know what? You're right. That kind of does meet my needs.
Yeah. It satisfies my requirement to get 3 bids, because I've given you 4.
Yeah. We give you more. I heard you say 4 and I was like, oh, that's different than what I'm used to hearing. I used to hearing 3.
Yeah. Like good, better, best. Right.
Yeah.
Well, we have a good, better, best, and then a budget item that uses all generic parts except for the shingle.
Right.
And so, and that's what the Chuck in the Truck is coming out with. Right. And we're still more expensive than them, but now you get more than a taillight warranty, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with the taillight warranty, it's when the taillights hit the end of the street, that's when the warranty ends.
Oh man. Yeah, that's there's a huge value to the experience that you offer, that you're going to be around to service them when they have needs, and they will, right? What happens to roofs? They wear, they tear. They're gonna need a trusted roofer when something happens. The weather doesn't stop coming. So there's a value to all of that. So when you say dollar for dollar, it is the cheapest option in the long run. It is the cheapest option for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Well, Spike, Steve Spike. That's so funny. Your email Spike.
Yeah, my email is Spike.
Have people called you? I mean, come on. Has your nickname ever been Spike? Has anybody ever called you Spike?
Not really. I got Steve-O a lot.
Okay.
But yeah.
Dang. I would have thought for sure. Come on.
Yeah, I kind of I kind of moved away from that, But yeah, I could see where it would. It's fun, It's fun to talk about. It's an easy email address to give out, and I've used it for years, So that's good. It works out good. First initial, last name, Spike. It's perfect.
Yeah, I heard that. I was like, oh, okay. That's awesome. So, Steve, what gets you excited about the future? What gets you up out of bed every day? What keeps you passionate? What gets you excited about the future?
So what really gets me excited is I have an abundance mentality. So many people suffer from a lack mentality, and there's not enough leads. There's not enough work. There's not enough this. There's not enough that. There's not enough. Man, I am so excited about the future of our business because there is enough, And I try to collaborate with some of our and mentor some of my other local contractors that are having a hard time. I try to encourage them. Look, raise your pricing. You're doing it. You're not doing it for enough money. Raise your pricing. You're gonna lose some jobs, but if you raise your prices by 25% and you lose 30% of your jobs, you're doing less jobs for the same money. And so that's, don't race for the bottom. Make a living. It costs money to have a company that's going to be able to serve our customer base. And if we're all making money and we can all serve our customers better, there's a handful of contractors that if we lose a job to one of them, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that consumer, that customer is going to be taken care of.
Yeah, 100%.
It's when somebody comes in and they're, offering garbage products, garbage labor, and I don't believe the customer is going to be taken care of. And I think they're going to be taken advantage of. It just makes me crazy.
Yeah. Wow. So that abundance mindset gets you excited for the future. And, it's so interesting that once you get into a posture of gratitude, which is biblical, that's when we can get into that posture of abundance mindset, which that's where the compounding effect of when you are in that space that you actually end up being more successful. Why? Because you can lead better. You can lead your team better. You're leading homeowners. You're a leader to homeowners, right? You're leading, people will want to follow you because you have an aura to you that you're grateful. You're grateful. I'm getting much better at that. I remember back in the day, I mean, yeah, I just thought I took everything for granted. And the closer I get to Christ, the more I'm grateful for so much. There's a million things. There's a million things going wrong and a million things going right at any given moment. Which page are you going to choose to focus on? And that mindset can be the biggest difference for Christian contractors listening in right now. That can be the biggest difference between who's going to succeed and who's not going to succeed in business. Is having that mindset and having that the abundance mindset, which is rooted in gratitude, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to take you so far, Steve. And for Christian contractors listening in, I mean, I know some people struggle with that because of maybe how they were brought up, their life situation. For instance, just so happens that my mom, she's from Spain. My dad's from Missouri, Florida. And my dad has this abundance gratitude mindset no matter what. And my mom, she was just raised in a different environment. And, it's really, she's grown out of it now. She's gotten closer to God and closer to Christ, and you can see the difference. But she always had this fearful mindset, closed, worried, worried about losing, worried about sharing, worrying about giving, trying to keep everything to yourself. It's the scarcity mindset, right? Mm-hmm. I think that it's very tempting to be like that in business because it's crazy. It's a roller coaster ride at times. I mean, mm-hmm. It makes logical sense to try to keep it close to your chest and have a scarcity mindset. That actually makes more logical sense. But it's funny because the supernatural is not natural and it doesn't make sense, right? Yeah. And when we are the opposite of exactly what logic says we should be, which is having the scarcity mindset and having this abundance, great gratitude mindset, it's funny. That's when things start to work. That's when we're able to have endurance. That's when we're able to push through, which when we're able to push through, what do? We get 1% better every single day. We stack bricks and we keep getting better and better. Next thing you know, you're an overnight success and everyone says, how did you do it? And it's because you always had that gratitude. You always had that abundance mindset, even when things didn't look good on paper, right? And so I see that in you. And for the Christian contractors listening in now, I pray that we, myself included, would continue to step into that abundance mindset, have that gratitude, because that's going to be the thing that helps us endure and become that overnight success.
Yeah. And so I'm glad you mentioned that because I went through our books, and so as I mentioned earlier, I opened this business up in June of last year. We didn't start selling anything. I needed to get systems in place and websites and, built and all of this and CRM and blah, 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 all of the stuff that it takes to run a successful business. And so we really didn't start selling anything until September. And so from September to November, our first quarter with zero brand recognition in our region, we did $720,000 worth of work in revenue. And so we sold a few jobs from June. I sold a few jobs to people, but from then till now, so from August to February, which is 6 months, we've done $1.3 million in revenue. Wow. And we will crush the 4 million. We'll crush the $4 million target that we have this year. And over the next 2 years, we'll double that.
Wow.
And the available market is there, and we will continue to market. We'll continue to grow. We will continue to serve our customers, and those targets are going to come, and they're going to be in our rearview mirror.
Yes. Amen. Call it. It is finished. It is finished.
It is finished to Palestine, for sure.
Wow. Those are some crazy great results. I know the Christian contractor listening in right now and saying, what? How'd you do that? So give the listeners a little secret sauce. Talk to us a little bit about what do you feel, what would be one gold nugget you could share with Christian contractors listening in? They're like, man, I can't even hit $1 million a year right now. What would be your advice to them of how they can break that 7-figure mark?
So the first thing that I would say is, when I started my marketing campaigns, I didn't know how I was going to pay for them. I didn't have a budget for it. I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. But I can guarantee you that had I not spent the money on a good website, anybody can build you a website. You can get a website. I think I was listening to your interview of yourself a little earlier, and sold your first website for $300. And for Christian contractors or any contractor, you can go out and buy a $300 website, but you will be the best kept secret on the interwebs. Okay. Figure out how to get a good website.
Wow.
Make sure that you're spending some money on your marketing. I went into a radio campaign. Radio is really, really good in this market. I'm launching a TV commercial for connected televisions, not just broadcast television, but very targeted television, and launching that in next week, as a matter of fact. So, and so what I did for 2026 is I upped my marketing budget to match my target. If I want to get to the target, I can't spend 1% of my revenue, current revenue. I've got to spend the 8-9% of, where do I want to be?
Wow. And that's not 8 or 9% of where you're at right now.
That's right. That's 8 or 9% of where I want to be. And I believe that because of the service that we provide, marketing by itself is just ads.
Awareness. It's awareness.
Right? It's just awareness. But if we provide the service that we promise to our customers, then it's going to pay off.
Exponential.
And we will hit our targets, and we will dominate our region. And we've got a lot of contractors in our region that have been here for decades. Wow. And they're not even our competition, is what our customers are telling us.
Wow.
And we're delivering so much more.
Wow. When you say delivering, and we work with roofers all over the nation, and I know just some just offer a superior installation than others. Talk to me about production and fulfillment and doing an excellent job that gets you more referrals. Can you offer a piece of advice to anybody that's maybe up and coming, building things up? What would be a word of advice to them to make sure that the end product for every customer is so good that it gets you 2 or 3 more customers from the one customer? What would be like a word of advice that you give to people that are coming up right now?
QC everything that you do, quality control everything that you do. If you're the solopreneur that you're trying to make the promise, deliver the promise, run the business, and all of those things, remember that you can't wear that many hats. Not and grow your business. If you want to grow and scale your business, come up with find some people in your sphere of influence, hire some people, figure out a way that you can hire some commission-only salespeople, give them a little bit of training on what you expect, give them a lot of training on what you expect as a business owner and what you will tolerate, because you will get what you tolerate. If you tolerate garbage, you're going to get garbage. So I don't tolerate garbage. My guys are held to a very, very high standard. They're commission-only sales reps, and if they don't hunt, they don't eat. Right? Wow. So I had very little risk in payroll. Right? I had some training dollars that I had to pay. Right? Because I couldn't make them do the training for free, but that was minimal. Right? And they saw the upside. So. Wow. Develop a sales process, get all the sales training you can do, figure out what you can do to build your people up and duplicate yourself in them, pour into them, serve them, show them that your process works, that if they want to be successful, if they do these things, they will have some personal, professional, and financial goals met, all of those things, and talk to them, ask them where they want to be.
Yeah.
If they want to be a $500,000 a year earner, then help them figure out how to be a $500,000 a year earner. What is that going to take? Oh, you need to develop your commercial side. Okay, so let's go develop some commercial jobs. Do fewer jobs, have longer lead times, but make $100,000 commission on one commercial job.
Yeah,
that'll go a long way to getting you to 500,000, right?
Wow.
So don't limit yourself to what you think is possible, especially if you're a Christian.
Amen. Yes. God, I call those God-sized goals.
Yeah. And those God-sized goals, think big. You're probably not thinking as big as you think you are.
Yeah. And which, when you said fill in the gap, what I remembered something that I actually heard Grant Cardone say this. I thought it was he's got good stuff and not good stuff. Love him or hate him, but he's got some good stuff. And I heard him one day say that he was like, I've never achieved any of my goals. I was like, what? He's like, I make goals so big that I can't achieve it. But what I do is I match the effort as if I'm going to achieve that goal. And so it made me think, I was like, okay, well, this is my goal. Think about what your goal is. Now double it. Now think of how you're going to get to that goal. And at first, the first thing that popped in my head is obviously there's the first path, which is, of course, you can simply spend more. And then the other path is you can spend on marketing and do what? You can create organic opportunities. And so, okay, maybe I need to do a little bit more on my hustle. So because what ends up, I feel like in my experience of life, it's usually you have a goal and you can hit it, but many times you land just short of it. So if you aim for the stars, land on the moon type of mindset. And, if we aim for this one goal and we land just short of that, that's like, that's not super exciting. But if you aim to double your goal and you land just short of that, you went way past your goal and you surpassed it. So whether that's now figuring out commercial jobs, whether that's door knocking along with paid advertising.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Is in your strategy, are you doing both door knocking and paid ads together?
Yes. Yeah, we do paid ads. We do door-to-door marketing. I'm on the radio. I do a bunch of commercials. We've got 1,000 spots a month on radio and streaming and podcast, and we door knock. We're in networking groups where we're getting to know people and building relationships there, so that you're top of mind when someone is saying, "Hey, I've got a problem with my roof," and they don't think of anybody but me, right? Yeah. Or my company. And so that's very, very important. So I take all of those things and I think the SEO in itself is such an organic way, because when people go to Google and they search, and
Yeah.
so
Right.
they've heard us on the radio, right? And they've seen our ads on Facebook, and they've seen our ads on Google, and they've seen all of this stuff. But then they get home that day and it's been raining. We've just had a storm. They've got a leak in their roof, and they go, roofer near me. Oh, I know these guys.
Yeah.
They don't know why they know us.
Yeah.
But they know us, and so that becomes some of that organic work, and we knock around our jobs. We do some direct mailers around every job that gets won. As soon as it gets won, I've got a integration with a direct mail marketing company, and they send out direct mailers to about 25 people right around where they're going to see our yard sign. They're going to see our crew. They're going to see our trucks. They're going to see all of the. So now they've got all of these hits. Then our guys are going to go in. They're going to knock those doors, and if they're not home, they're going to leave a door hanger. And so it's a full on strategy, and every job is a full court press.
Wow. Powerful. Well, we've gone on over an hour. This has been a longer episode. It's been just good conversation. Just naturally kind of kept going. So my apologies here. I value your time and really appreciate you being here, Steve.
Thank you so much, Brandon. I appreciate you having me on, and I loved our conversation too. And if you can put my contact info wherever.
Which is the next question that I'm going to ask is, where can people find you?
So the best way to find us is SETX roofingpros.com, SETXroofingpros.com, and you can fill out a form there, and that's probably the best way. You'll engage with a chat bot when you fill out that form, and you can tell them, hey, I heard Steve on the podcast, and I'd really like to talk to him. It'll get directed to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can.
Amazing, Steve. Go check him out, everybody. SETXroofingpros.com. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Christian Contractor Podcast. I'm Brandon Guthrie with Dream Design Labs. If you're a Christian contractor that wants to take territory in God's name, learn how we do just that at go.dreamdesignlabs.com/apply. Check it out. It's free, and I guarantee you'll get great value from the content. Remember, marketing doesn't have to be hard. All you need is the right tools and the right heart to serve. Till next time, stay blessed. Steve, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you so much, Brandon.